we'll start with the flow and we'll do in page CSS. So for that we'll just start with one div only right now, as it will be the startup, and it will be in page CSS. It has already been written, so no need to write on that. Okay, then so to do in page CSS, first of all what you need to do is you need to write a tag that is called as style inside the head tag. Okay, this is the primary requirement. Okay, then after this what you need to do is you need to write some classes. Now what are the classes actually? The class is actually what you can do in any tag, whether it's in body tag, in div tag, in h1 or h2 tag, or whether it's in table tag. Any tag you can mention an attribute with the name class. Okay, and then inside it you can put any name, like I am putting my name here, like Raju. Okay, then after putting this name you can write down any style sheet values inside that style tag regarding this class. Okay, let me show you first, then I'll go for the detailed information. So the thing is that you can write in dot Raju. Now, what this dot stands for is it is telling the computer or the browser that I am using a class. Dot stands for class. Okay? Okay, okay, you know that. That's very good. Then after this, here inside the second bracket start and end, that is the scope of this class. That is how long this class will go and what are their properties will be. We can write down this here. Like we can write, first of all, to check the div, we can write a border, and then after writing the border let me finish it with 1 pixel solid red or something like that. Okay,
Those one I know that one.
okay, you know, okay, that's okay. And I need to build certain things at least, or else I won't be able to teach you further. So that's why first of all I am building the basic things that you know I can understand. After this, what you also know the width property, that is the width, I can mention it here, like 200 pixel or so. And then also you might know height, this is another property that is 200 pixel. Okay, and then do you know anything about float?
I know float.
Float,
You can go to the object left or right.
yeah, okay. Now why should we use the float? Do you know
We
that?
use a float,
Hmm.
for example, in arranging the div. For
Yeah.
example, if I'm creating like menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I want to move on the left, or I'm creating the section and without the section to move on the left,
Mm-hmm.
then I have to use a float.
Okay, okay. Anything else rather than this?
No.
Okay. So let me show you something first. Then I'll go for the floats detailed section. And if you know that, that is very good. If not, then I'll explain it to you. That is like I have right now written just the border and width and height for this div class. And then let me go for the browser. You have opened it up in Firefox also?
No, let me open that.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to Firefox. Okay, run in Firefox, that will do. Okay, so now it is showing just this is a test and a div box. Okay,
Yeah.
now till here it's not required to mention the float left stuff or something like that. But if I had any requirement that there will be multiple div available with the same class name Raju, then what will happen? Let's see about that. If say there is another div property that is also available with the same class name but it's just a copy of that one, then if we run this one in Firefox and refresh it, then what we will see, the second div will come below, not after the first one. Do you know why this has happened?
Because we haven't created the float.
Okay, now why if we don't put in the float the div is coming below? Can you explain me that?
I think It's coming on the floor. We have to play the div.
See, the actual thing is that whenever you create a div and you do not mention the float left property, whether or not you are giving any width or height to the div will still acquire the full part of the screen. Okay, so the first div is showing that it is very small, but it is actually acquiring the full portion of the screen. That is why the second div is unable to move beside it
Okay.
and it's coming down. Whenever we mention it as float left, in that exact moment, that particular div will acquire only that much of portion which of which we have given the width and height. For
Okay.
that reason, the rest of the part will become blank and the next div will move beside it. So that's why if we mention float left now, just here one property will do, that is float left, and give a semicolon and save it, and then if we check it on Firefox or any browser else, it will be like this, because the first div has now acquired only that much 200 pixel of width and 200 pixel of height for itself, and the rest is blank. So that's why the next div has moved beside it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the actual reason to use float left. Okay, so now if I want to move two divs in two parts, although you might know that already, that is like I am creating another class named Raju2, and now I am creating the same section once again by copying this part. But the only difference I am going to put in is the class name will be Raju2, and say here instead of float left I will use float right. Then the two of the divs will be shown in two different areas of the screen. Okay, that you might know already. That is like this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you know how to make a div visible at center?
Make a div at the center.
Center, yeah. I want to use the div as a center of the total screen. How to do so? Do you know
You
that?
have, you have to put a float, then you put center.
No, there is no such value as float center.
Mhm.
Okay, so to make a div in the center position, what I'll do, I'll create another example. So that will be easier for you. Okay, so just copy this current example and paste it and name it as making div as center.